How often do you find yourself in acceptance when a challenge arises? It's not all perfect just as it is for the greater good and for the whole. No matter what the storm is, no matter what the challenge, I invite you to surrender into acceptance. The power of surrender and acceptance has the ability to immediately alleviate so much inner turmoil and suffering that we put ourselves through when we find ourselves caught in the hellish mind matrix of trying to control the future or relive the past, or we're caught up in the present moment to where we're using our imagination for worry, which again goes back to probably something that we experienced in the past. So we're programmed with that experience, and thus we're using all of our present moment to take that and put it towards worrying of the future. And what I have realized, my friends, this is Casey Christine, that it is all needless suffering from crucifying ourselves, from thinking that something is wrong with what is. And that is what so much of humanity is moving through right now. As a collective, we are moving through this idea that it's not all perfect just as it is for the greater good and for the whole. Thinking about the yin and the yang, female, masculine, these polar opposites, extreme heat, extreme cold, the light, the dark. All of these things are creating a whole for an experience. And if you have been magnetized to this channel, I have full faith that you are someone who is very sincere in a path of awakening, in a path of aligning with your highest potential, on the path to saying yes to whatever it is that you are here for, that you signed up for, that your higher self said yes to this moment in time. And I want to invite you to ask yourself, how often do you find yourself in acceptance when a challenge arises? Or do you find yourself scorning yourself, or in regret or anxiety, condemning? Just ask yourself, do I find myself in acceptance when I am really moving through one of the most challenging experiences of my life? One of the most challenging situations. Just take a breath. Can you accept that it's all perfect? Can you accept that the tragedies, that the chaos, that what we would all love to label often that we see happening as very bad, unacceptable behavior? Keyword, see where we said unacceptable? But could you be willing to accept that divinity knows what she is doing, and he knows how to destroy and rebuild perfectly in harmony? Acceptance does not excuse behaviors that are not honoring of our boundaries, that are not honoring of respect for all, including Gaia. But what acceptance does, true acceptance, is it brings us back into harmony so that we can transcend the illusion of form being what's real. What's real is the inevitable grace and unconditional love of God and Goddess. That is what's real. That is where we come from, and that is where we return to perfect, pure consciousness. So no matter what is happening, what kind of challenge that we are shooting all over ourselves with, it should be happening this way, it shouldn't have happened like that, well, I can't accept that, well, I can't accept this group because they hold this value. We have no idea what has shaped one's lens of perspective that ultimately does serve a unified whole. Acceptance is merciful. So I want to just invite you, if you are in the midst of a storm, of a challenge, of a soul initiation that you cannot see your way out of, that you have not yet felt a divine solution for, I am here to tell you the divine solution is complete surrender into what is, complete acceptance of what your higher self has orchestrated for you to experience exactly as it has been, and how perfect that is. Because when we are in fear and anxiety and despair and regret and frightened and hopeless and condemning, we are unable to be a tuning fork to hear and see and receive the divine solutions that are all around. The divine solutions that will magnetize to you through matching up with a resonance of acceptance. And you surrender to this idea of what that looks like, how it's going to go. You surrender to needing it to go in any direction other than the one that is for the highest good of all, that may look completely different than what your human mind is trying to tell you. We have no idea what's in store for us. We have no idea why we had to go through what we're going through. But if we can accept it versus condemn it, that automatically lifts us into resonance of mercy, to where wisdom can eventually flow. So my friends, no matter what the storm is, no matter what the challenge, I invite you to surrender into acceptance and allow the grace of mercy to wash over you. Mercy for yourself, for being a human while also fully divine at the same time. And what kind of dance in polar opposites is that for a full experience? The power of surrender and acceptance. Let it in. It's simply a surrender away. All my love and light. Namaste.